and then you've got him. Okay, so we're setting a trap, because the trap is he doesn't know he's being recorded. Okay, and he's gonna say, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna do, and he's picking on you, right? And so you've got great evidence because he doesn't know he's being recorded. Okay, if you feel unsafe confronting the bully, this is common, right? You may feel unsafe, like maybe he's just gonna start bombing on you. Okay, you can confront him with a witness, right? But first of all, if you feel unsafe to confront the bully, if you don't feel safe, that means that you have to do it all the more, because you're not safe. This guy is not safe. You're not safe. That's why you don't feel safe. So you have to confront the bully to stop the bullying, okay? But yes, you can confront the bully with a witness. So let's say my boss is being a bully. He's being a real jerk. He's been jerk for a couple months. I've got a few incidents where he's been bullying me. I recorded them. And now, but I feel like, okay, he's bigger than me, he's stronger, tougher, and I feel that if I confront him, he's just maybe sock me or beat me up, right? I'm going to ask a coworker to come up with me to confront him. Ideally, that coworker should also be someone who's bullied, because, right? Okay? But it could also be just anyone who wants to help you. It's not easy to find someone who's in the same company to stand up to a boss, but this is an option. You can use a witness, or you could do it alone. That's your call, okay? It might be hard to find someone willing to do that with you. That would be a homie, right? That's what a homie is, okay? A homie would come up, yeah, let's go talk to the bully right now and say, hey, you got to stop picking on this person, okay? Okay, document the bullying. The best documentation is video recording. This can be subtle or overt, okay? Because let's say I didn't wear my body camera, my little hidden camera today, or I'm just going to whip this out, turn on the video, hit the button, and I'm going to say, keep talking. I'm recording everything. Why are you recording? I didn't give you permission to record. What are you recording me for? I feel unsafe. I feel like you're harassing me. I feel like this needs to be recorded. If you don't like being recorded, I suggest you don't say anything that you will regret later, because I'm just trying to de-escalate this situation. And that's how you do that, okay? So you always have evidence you always have a camera in your pocket, okay? Use it, okay? Because you need that evidence, okay? Okay. Each documented incident of bullying is what we call a critical incident. And you confront the bully and mention each incident as evidence of bully behavior, okay? So that's what the confrontation is. First you say, hey, Joe, I want to talk to you today about the way you've been treating me. You've been harassing me, you've been threatening me, you've been name calling, and it has to stop. I need a commitment from you that it's going to stop today. And you can say, what evidence you have? What proof do you have? And then you're going to mention those dates. January 13th, you put a dead snake in my locker. January 15th, I saw you scratch my car. January 17th, you threw away my homework. Or you're just going to keep, and you have to have proof of all of these things. You have to video proof of him harassing you, okay? Okay, each incident is going to be mentioned in the confrontation, okay? This is what you did on this day. This is what, don't let him deflect or distract or flip the script on you. He's going to try to get out of this all many different ways. Don't let him do that. You're going to say, if he says, yeah, but what about on April 7th when you, and you said this to me? Say, did you record it? Because I don't remember anything like that happening. If you didn't record it, I'm only talking about stuff I can prove. If you can't prove that, I don't remember ever saying that. Okay, so you're going right back to the critical incidents. If things get real murky, which is what he's trying to do, muddy up the water, right? Because when the water's clear, you can easily see he's the bully. But then he's throwing all this stuff at you, all this mud. What about when you said this? And what about when you said this? And when I thought we were friends. He's going to throw all this stuff at you to muddy the water, to get you to back up. And you're going to say, look, I've told you about these incidents of bullying. I'm asking you to stop. I need a commitment from you that you're going to stop abusing me and harassing me. Can you make that promise to me today? Then we're done here. If you can't, then I have to go above your head. Now, what does that mean, to go above his head? Well, it depends. Is he a boss? Is he a parent? Is he a teacher? Is he a neighbor? That matters. Because sometimes you're going to go to the police. Sometimes you're going to go to HR and to his boss, the boss above the boss. You know, if he's the manager, you're going to go to the supervisor. Okay? If he's the owner, you know, you might go to police or an attorney. Okay? If he's the teacher, you're going to go to the principal or to to law enforcement. It depends on what he did, what you can prove, okay? But that's what it means to go over their head. Is if we can't resolve this today and the bullying stops today, I have to take it beyond us. It has to go to law enforcement, attorneys, and supervisors that have more power than the bully, okay? So one thing you want to know before you confront the bully is, what is your school policy or work policy regarding bullying, okay? Now, in many schools in America, they have what's called a zero tolerance of bullying, okay? What that means is they will expel you if there is proof of you bullying. One time. There's no second chance. One time. But you better have a lot of proof of the bullying, because if it's not good video quality, or it just showed that a name was called, no threat, no, right? Or you also engaged back in some retaliatory behavior, then they're not going to expel your bully. The same in the workplace. Many workplaces have zero tolerance on workplace harassment, okay? Now, there's sexual harassment, which is a form of bullying, but then there's just regular harassment, which is bully, right? So both are, every workplace, every corporation I've ever heard of, except for a tiny little mom and pop business, every workplace has a policy, an employee guidelines that says bullying, harassment, and that type of behavior is a fireable offense. You can get fired for that. We will not tolerate it, right? So you should know your workplace policy and your school policy, because when you take this thing, when you confront the bully and they say, hell no, I'm not stopping, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep bullying you, I make no promises. You have no choice but to take your evidence above their head. And you need to know, hey, school policy says you need to expel the bully. Or work policy says you need to terminate, you need to fire the bully. I have evidence of the bullying. Yes, he's my boss, but the work policy says bullies are not, harassment is not allowed. It's against the policy. So, get him fired, okay? But again, you have to know the policy of your school or your workplace, okay? Stick to the script. This is one of the most difficult things you're ever going to do in your life. But wasn't being a victim of bullying one of the most difficult things you ever had to do in your life? That's why you purchased this video and you're watching me right now, is because it messed with your life, it ruined your sleep, it gave you migraines and stomach problems, and you can't stop thinking about your bully. Your life's already hell, okay, from this bully. So confront the bully. I know it's difficult, but it's not as difficult as letting the bully continue his behavior. That's always the worst choice. Trust me, okay? We got to end this thing now. That's what confronting the bully means, okay? Don't get emotional, okay? If you notice, emotions can make you say and do things you don't want to say and do, okay? Have you ever wished that you could just stand up to your bully and but then when he comes, you're like, that's emotion called fear. And you hate yourself afterwards, don't you? And you fantasize, man, I should have just stood up to him, right? Or, you fantasize about being braver. Or, look, bravery, the bravest people in the world feel afraid. Oh, that building's on fire, but I have to go in there and save someone that I love. You feel the fear, and then you do what you have to do anyway. That's brave. But we all feel afraid. Every one of us, okay? So let that feeling, but don't let it change you and make you, okay? You feel it, and then you do what you have to do that's in your best interest, okay? So don't get emotional. Don't let those emotions get out of control. My advice would be to practice in the mirror, confronting the bully, and practice what you're saying without anger, without fear, without, crying, and so that when it's time to do it in real life, that your words are smoother and your emotions are better checked, okay? Okay. Anger can make you say things you will regret later. We never use the N word, the C word, the R word. We never say F you. We don't say those things because those are escalators. That's what we say when we want to fight, or we don't care if let's fight, or F you, R, F you, C, F you, punk, we say those things. That makes the problem much bigger. So you don't say those hot words. Never, okay? If your bully is fat, you don't say, hey, you fat slob. No. If your bully is any marginalized minority, trans, black, anything like that, you don't say those things. because you're being the bully now. You're harassing them. You understand? Okay? What's the difference of him, the bully, calling you gay, and then you turning around calling them gay? You're being the bully too. That's called mutual disrespect. That's not one-sided. That's both-sided. Okay? So you can't say those things. First of all, you can't say them because they're not appropriate to say. Second of all, you can't say them because they only make the problem bigger. And they weaken your position and your chances of shrinking the problem. Okay? Your goal is not to fight a bully. Your goal is to get them to stop bullying you. Remember that. Your goal is to get them to stop bullying you. Okay? There is no other goal. Not revenge, not justice, none of that. None of that. Your goal is to get the bully to stop bullying you. Remember that. You can say that too. Hey, I'm confronting you today. I'm having this conversation because my goal is to get you to stop bullying me. That's it. All I want is to get you to stop bullying me. Can I get your word that you'll stop bullying me? Say it over and over again. Say it over. I know it. Whatever he says, you don't know what bully. Hey, hey, I hear you, but can I get your commitment, your promise to stop bullying me? That's all we're asking. If you get him to say, all right, I'm going to stop, you won. And you just turn and say, thank you, and you leave. You recorded the whole incident, so you won. Okay? And you're going to win by having evidence, video evidence of previous bullying incidents, critical incidents, and by recording the confrontation with the bully. Because if you're recording me, I'm saying things a whole lot nicer than I normally would say because I'm being recorded. Because, yeah. So, yes, you could easily win this and de-escalate this and not have to call the police and not have to go to court. And, yes, okay? Okay. If the bully is not physically threatening, right? If the bully is just name calling and stuff like that, then this is just a shouting match, right? You can win this, but we want the bullying to stop. So, when you confront a bully, when you confront the bully in the manner that we're describing here, confronting the bully, this is a final effort before you go over their head to someone in higher authority for assistance. You cannot use escalating language. I said that the forbidden words, the R word, the N word, the C word, okay? But there's other forbidden words. Shouting over them, your tone, your arrogance, you cannot have any of that. You have to be reasonable, calm voice, because if he's yelling and then you yell louder, what's on the recording? Two people yelling at each other. But if he's yelling and you're saying, hey, why are you yelling at me? I'm just asking you to stop bullying me. Why are you getting so angry? Now he looks like he's unreasonable and aggressive, okay? And that's what you want on camera. You don't want to be aggressive as well, okay? You understand? Okay. If the bully is physically abusive, just secretly video the abuse. It's easy. Let's say my neighbor and he's gonna punch me, right? And I'm gonna say, hey, Mike, I'm talking to you today. I hope we can come to an agreement where we don't harass each other and where we don't mess with each other and that we have a peace. And he says, bah. and I get that on camera, we're done here. We're done. I just get to turn and walk away. Remember, if he punches me and I turn and walk away, he's guilty of assault. But if he punches me and then I'm fighting back, bah, 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 that's mutual combat. That's, that's mutual combat. And the cops, you look like two guys fighting to me. I weakened my case a lot by fighting back. If I had just taken the punch and turned and called the police, Mike would be in jail right now. But instead, but I don't think a lot of you guys are going to punch back. You know why? Because the definition of bully is someone that you are afraid of, right? I don't feel like I'm not going to have a fist fight with my bully. So, I don't think that's your situation, okay? But if your bully physically, or even spits on you, a spit alone is assault. So if you catch him spitting on you, that's assault, okay? So you have that recorded. Now just call the cops. He physically assaulted you. It's time for him to go to jail. It doesn't matter who he is. You have evidence of the physical assault. Call the cops. Problem solved. He'll get arrested. He'll probably get out on bond or OR, okay, depending on how bad he hit you. And then he's going to go to court. Unless he's a major criminal with a rap sheet, they're going to give him probation. But that's good, because the first rule of probation, rule number 1, you will have no contact with the victim. That's always the rule number 1. I swear. Rule number 1 of probation, you will have no contact with the victim. So you can get him arrested anytime he messes with you again. Call the probation department and say, hey, this guy's on probation. He's still messing with me. They'll take him right that same day. They'll take him back to jail. Okay? So, once you call the cops, things got a whole lot easier if you can prove physical abuse. Okay? Restraining orders are easy to get when there's an assault charge on a person. Okay? Lawsuit. If this guy has money, lawsuit easy, right? If he's your boss at work and he hits you, or you got a good lawsuit, go talk to a lawyer. You're going to get some money, okay? But again, it all comes down to the quality of your evidence. What did you capture on video of him, abusing you? Was it a smack, a spit, a punch, or just name calling? Because one's strong case that any lawyer is going to go, yeah, I'm your lawyer. Let's go sue him. Let's take him. Let's take his house. It's unrealistic that you're going to get someone's house as a settlement, but let the lawyer decide how bad the damages are. Usually the damage is measured like this. Did you lose your job? What are the damages? How many days off of school did you take because you were afraid of your bully? Did your grades suffer? Did your home life, he's gonna assess a monetary value for all your pain and suffering. And that could be $5,000 or $10,000. It could be $100,000. Depends on how long he's been abusing you and how serious he hurt you. Okay, so that's a lawyer's job, is to quantify in a monetary amount how much damage he's seeking in a suit. Okay, so I wish you the best of luck confronting the bully. Remember this, all the other videos were leading up to this moment in time, the time when you have to confront your bully, because he's not going to stop unless you confront him. You confront him this way, through a position of strength. This is your bully. First, the bully was here, and he's like, I could smack you because you're weak. I'm stronger than you. and then you recorded his abuse. Now the law's on your side, and you're like, I am a position of strength, and I'm not even going to smack you. All I'm asking you to do is say, hey, I have evidence of your bullying. I want you to stop. Can I get your commitment that you're going to stop harassing me today? If he says no, then we're taking it upstairs. We're taking it to the police. We're taking it to the attorney. We're taking it to HR and to the supervisors of the workplace. Okay? I wish you the best of luck.